You will win. You will win. Yes, you will. Oh, you will win. I want to let you know today that you will win. Hey, yeah. I know you're hurt. I know you're torn. I know you're broken, but you will win. All the roads may be bad, but the truth still remains that in the name of Jesus, you will win. So lay your hands on yourself and say this. It's my winning season. It's my winning season. It's my winning season. Let me hear you declare it tonight. Say, it's my winning season. It's my winning season. It's my winning season. From now, this is what you gotta declare. Everything attached to me wins. Everybody sing it. Everything attached to me wins. Everything attached to me wins. Everything attached to me wins. Hey, hey, oh, you win. This is what we declare you. You will win. I know you felt the pressure. One thing you gotta realize is you will win. Hey, hey. Lay your hand on yourself and say this. It's my winning season. It's my winning season. Speak to your season. From the start of your season, gotta lay hands on your home. You gotta lay hands on your mind. Lay hands on your money. Lay hands on your ministry. There's too much in you for you to lose in this place. But you are the child of the greatest champion. That means that he is the champion. There is a champion in you. I said there is a champion in you. Unleash that champion in you. Unleash that champion in this season. Everything attached to me wins. 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 Last time everybody said, everything attached to me wins. Everything attached to me wins. If you believe that you are a winner, you want to open up your mouth and shout, I will win. I will win. I don't care how long you've been defeated. Shake your bed up. Shake your bed up. And you fight to win. I said you fight to win. The Lord told me, he said anybody can fight. But the question is, can you win? I came to tell somebody up in here tonight that there is something on the inside of you that's going to help you win in this season. And it's called a champion. You want to open up your mouth and shout, I am a champion. Everything attached to you wins. I said everything attached to you wins. Can you point to your neighbor and tell them, everything attached to you wins. Come on, let's say, tell them, everything attached to you wins. Now just tell them, say, it's your winning season. It's your winning season. If God got to carry you, if God got to carry you, that's what he's going to do tonight. Because you can't afford to lose again. You can't afford to lose again. Oh, it's your winning season. Last time, say, everything attached to me wins. Everything attached to me wins. This is what I need you to do. Because I realize that you can't say you are a winner but look defeated. I need you to get up out of your seat and high five 10 people across this room. Don't just stay at your row. Tell them across the room that you will win. Come on, high five 10 people and tell them you will win. You will win. God don't birth failures. God don't call you defeated. You are a winner. Maybe you didn't know it before, but now you know it tonight. Now you know it tonight. You are a winner. You are a winner. Unleash that champion. Unleash that champion out of you. Come on, that's your challenge. You will win. Come on, all the winners, clap your hands in the air. Come. Clap your hands in the air. Come. Now y'all gotta be my background. Everybody say tonight, it's my winning season. It's my winning season. It's your winning season. It's your winning season. It's my winning season. It's my winning season. It's my winning season. Y'all ready to declare one more time? Everybody say, everything attached to me wins. Everything attached to me wins. Now scream like you believe it.
Hey everybody, this is Dottie Peoples. When I was hit by a tractor trailer on 285, I immediately called 1-800-INJURED, the Bethune Law Firm. And attorney Terrence Bethune said, "Don't worry, Dottie, I got this. If you're ever in a car accident, call 1-800-INJURED, Bethune Law Firm, and they'll tell you too. Oh! I got this.
This is Attorney Bethune of Bethune Law Firm. For over 25 years, my law firm has been helping injured victims in matters of wrongful death, tractor-trailer accidents, and car accidents. We're conveniently located at 2357 Pine-Nono Avenue. Remember, after a car wreck, call 1-800-INJURED, the Bethune Law Firm, to get you a big check.
Join the presiding moderator, Dr. Walter L. Glover Jr., and the Greater Zion Hill Missionary Baptist Church at their new time, 9:15 a.m. until 10:15 a.m. every Sunday morning on The Glory, 980 a.m. WDDO. The moderator invites you to join him this coming Sunday at 9:15 a.m. By popular demand, he's back on the air. Backpage with Pastor Jackson every Wednesday at 6 right here on 980 AM WDDO. The Glory. It's Lanter's Rainey celebrating the best barbecue in the land. Over 5 years of perfecting good old-fashioned barbecue, Feed Me Barbecue is making dreams a reality, providing one-on-one customer service to every customer, regardless of who you are and where you're from. Feed Me Barbecue's food truck is ready to travel to your event today. Their food is what you need. Call them right now at 478-731-8043. Connect 478 the community through gospel. The new 107.9 FM, W300EB, Macon, and WDDO 980 AM, Perry, Macon.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.
It is now time for the live broadcast of the NAACP with Gwenette Westbrooks and Mr. Dumas.
And good evening, and welcome once again to the NAACP Truth Show. I'm Willie Dumas, your host, and President Westbrooks will be joining us shortly. Hope you're having a wonderful day. We have a very, very wonderful show for you today, and we hope that you are tuning in. Just a beautiful day out, a beautiful day to go out to the fair. I understand the Perry Fair is open and operating, and so those of you who find your children kind of getting on your nerves because I do understand a lot of them are out on break. And so a good opportunity to get them out and take them to the fair. A lot of things happening in our community today. Well, the violence is back up in Macon. I understand there's a shooting that took place. And so violence continues to plague our community. And that's something that has kind of haunted us as a community. And hopefully at some point, this will get under control. The month of October is the month of breast cancer awareness. So those of you who have been affected by breast cancer can show your solidarity by wearing a pink ribbon or just clothing of pink. And so we want to make sure that most of us are aware as African-American women and men to get checked, women to get their mammograms, to get checked for breast cancer. There was a great article written in the Informer this past month about cancer. It was written by Dorothy Crumley, talking specifically about breast cancer and some of the statistics associated with it. And I'm going to get into that a little later in the show. We're also going to touch on the fact that this month covers domestic violence. Domestic violence is a big issue across the country in most households. And so we're looking at the month of October as far as dealing with that as well. Also, we know in the month of October, we have Halloween celebrations. So you got to make sure you're looking out for the children as it gets later in the month as they're going door to door. We haven't really heard any guidelines as far as how that relates to COVID-19, as far as kids going trick-or-treating. But we do know that we do want to be vigilant and kind of watch out for our young folk that are out there. Also for the NAACP, the month of October, we'll be celebrating on October 16th, our Freedom Fund banquet. It's the 49th annual Earl T. Shinholster banquet. And President Westbrooks will be on later to give more details about that particular celebration. We look forward to you, our listening audience, tuning into that. It will be broadcast live on Facebook. And so you'll have an opportunity to kind of see those individuals in the community that have been recognized for their service by the NAACP, and also some of our corporate sponsors that help us throughout the year to reach the goals of our organization, that we can still stay vigilant and visible in the community. For it takes funds, it takes money in order for that to happen. We'll also give some information to you, our listening audience, and how you can help support the NAACP by your contributions. One way of doing that, of course, is to join the organization. It's only $30 a year. And so you can join for your pledge of $30 to the organization and help in the continued fight for injustice and equality for justice and equality throughout not only the city of Macon, the state of Georgia, but across the country. And so there's a lot to really hit on today. First of all, I want to start out with the breast cancer awareness and this article that Dr. Crumley has published here in the Informer. And it starts out by saying it's October again, and organizations and teams and various schools and faith-based groups are paying attention by displaying the pink apparel to represent breast cancer awareness. Also, scarves and ribbons and pins and all kinds of things that are out there to help represent that. And it also goes on to say that let's start with who is at risk for getting breast cancer. I think a lot of times we as men think that breast cancer is just directed at females and women. But according to this article, men and women are at risk for getting breast cancer. So it's not just women, but it's men as well. It says the lifetime risk of getting breast cancer is about 1 in 833 for men in the U.S. compared to 1 in 8 for women. And so those statistics are very strong, showing that women are more likely to get breast cancer, 1 in 8 women. And with men, it's 1 in 833. Also says, so what are risk and protective factors? Some of the risk factors they kind of list here, it says it's made up of a combination of factors. Anything that increases a person's chance of developing cancer is called a cancer risk factor. Anything that decreases a person's chance of developing cancer is called a cancer protective factor. And it also goes on to say that overall, white women are slightly more likely to develop breast cancer than African American women, although the gap between them has been closing in recent years. It says, however, women under the age of 45, breast cancer is more common in African American women. And so, as you know, if the age groups are in the 40s, they're more likely to develop breast cancer. Now, I don't know if that has to do with a lack of getting your mammograms like you should, or it's just the age factor. And so those are some of the things that Black women, as a race of women, should be aware of, and to make sure they go and get checked, because it's important that they do so. Also, domestic violence awareness month. It's in the month of October. Domestic violence started to increase back in 2020 up to 2021, particularly when COVID-19 started to affect people being quarantined at home. And so you had husbands and wives and children all in the mix, and causing a lot of tension and stress in the home, which get developed into domestic violence. And so we want to make sure that, we're getting the proper care, self-care, to help alleviate domestic violence. And if you feel you can't remedy some of your problems on your own, it's okay to seek, professional help, counselors, or those kind of folk to help us to safeguard ourselves from being affected by physical harm. Nobody wants to be beat up in their home. Nobody wants to be a victim of domestic violence. And so those are some of the ways we can prevent it, simply by getting the help that the person needs in order to alleviate a lot of the stress and the pressures that they face. One of the other problems we have still going on, plaguing Macon, is violence by means of gun violence, shootings. At one point, we had a decrease in violence, but it seems in the last couple of days over the weekend, that has increased by a number of shootings that have taken place here in the Macon area. And so we want everyone to be safe and protect yourselves from becoming a victim of violence, becoming a victim of gun violence. And one way to do that is to watch our surroundings when we're out shopping, when we're out enjoying ourselves, to make sure that we protect ourselves by watching our environment. And so that would help safeguard us from being a victim of either gun violence or being robbed. And so we do know that we're getting closer to the holiday season, and that always invites criminal activity and robbing and those kinds of things. And so we've got to safeguard ourselves. I see President Westbrooks has joined us, and
hello, everyone.
Hello out there. And we would like to get into our celebration we're going to be having this week.
Yes, it's been an experience.
It has.
Hey, we've been had to get creative.
Very, very much so.
Had to get creative, and with the help of, I need to put my speakerphones on now.
Yeah, while you're doing that, it's when you do
Good
things
evening,
virtually,
everyone.
I think a lot of times when people hear that you're doing something virtually, they don't think it's a lot of work involved, but it's probably more work involved than actually just, putting on a particular celebration,
It
physically.
is. It has been, and I know it's been for you and Maria,
Yeah, it has been a
myself, and
challenge.
trying to do things virtually and get stuff recorded, and it's been a challenge. But I think it's going to be very nice. We've doing something a little different than we did last year. We basically tried to do it ourselves, and
Right.
we had a lot of pausing and different things. So cost a little bit more, but I think you all will enjoy the program. I think it's going to be very nice. We do have some information. This is one of our biggest fundraisers of the year. And we're just hoping that we can get the support that we need because of our involvement in the community. A lot of times you may not see us in the spotlight all the time, but we're constantly working for the people and for the community. A lot of things that we're able to get resolved behind closed doors. Sometimes we do have to get in the media, but donations and sponsorship is what help us, keep us abreast and keep us, able to do a lot of things we do in helping people. And sometimes it takes money for us to do that.
Even the radio show, they don't.
Yeah,
it takes money to even be on the air.
Right. So, especially with COVID, Mr. Dumas, a lot of people are depending on the radio shows now for information because you're not able to gather, you're not able to do things in person. So we're having to do things virtually, which that costs also. In order for us to do things on Zoom, we have to pay for that. You're limited as what you can do on Zoom without paying.
Absolutely.
And so that's even a cost. And so everything that we're basically doing as far as communication, we have to pay for it. We have to pay for court documents when we're dealing with people in court. We have to, when we do protests and different things like that costs money. We have to pay for that, get it approved, pay money to the national. We have to pay for security and different things like that. So, just about everything we do is a cost in it. So we're asking for your support. Our tickets, we do have, last year we didn't have tickets. This year we are going to have tickets, ticket sale. Normally every year when we do our banquet, this is our 49th annual Earl T. Shinhosters Award. And we do have tickets this year. Tickets are normally sold at our regular banquet when we're in person. The tickets are $40. We're asking people to purchase tickets. The tickets can be purchased on Eventbrite. And also you can pay for your tickets through Cash App. Our Cash App is $Macon-Bibb NAACP. That's our Cash App information, or you can purchase tickets on Eventbrite. And that ticket also includes a meal, which you can purchase at any time. You'll receive a ticket to pick up your meal at the Bear's Den. That meal will include a meat, 2 vegetables, dessert, and a drink. Only thing you have to do is show that ticket. It has our name on the back of the ticket, so the tickets have already been purchased. If you purchase your $40 tickets, then your meal is included in that ticket. So we're asking for your support. It's for a good cause, and plus you'll be getting a meal also.
And share with them who our speaker is going to be.
Yes,
we're looking forward to that.
Senator Lucas is going to be our speaker, and that he has been very active in this community in working on our behalf. I just encourage people. I was looking this past weekend at on Commissioner Lane Lucas' Facebook page and listening at some of the things that he's spoke out on in reference to the law that was passed dealing with our changing the voting rights. He spoke out on that, and he spoke out on the hate crime that they were implementing. They had a protection in there for immunity for officers. And I don't know if you saw that on the news today, Mr. Dumas, where the young man that was tased
Yes.
a couple of years ago. The officers that tased him, he actually died, but they tased him, and the lower courts ruled that the officers were protected by immunity, and the case was dismissed, and then the Supreme Court overruled it and said that the officers should not have been. So they're starting their trial. Their trial started today. So that's something that Senator Lucas was very big on. He was very vocal on, and he actually spoke at the state capitol there because he's a senator. So he spoke out on that. He spoke out on this new voters law. So a lot of things he's working on our behalf. He's going to be our speaker for this Saturday. We've already got a recording for him, and we're asking for you all to keep him in your prayers because he's in the hospital now. He had to have a procedure, and so we're asking for you all to keep him in your prayers. But that's who we chose this year to be our speaker for our event, and I don't think that you all will be disappointed.
Absolutely. We're really excited about it. First of all, to kind of, when you're creating something, you're putting something together, to see the finished product, because, everything is, pieces here and pieces there, videos here and there.
Yeah. And so we was trying to we need to get get somebody to, for the MC. I said, Mr. Dumas has a perfect voice. So
well, great.
but has a perfect voice, and we was listening to it, and he was kind of practicing. I was like, he got the perfect voice for this. So I know it's been a challenge because Mr. Dumas' part in it all has been more involved than anybody, because everything that we're doing in the program, he has to actually introduce it before it happens. So he's played a big part in getting this in communicating with the guy that's going to be putting it together. So yeah, he's played a big part in this. I want to thank him and Maria and Brenda Wolford that's on the committee. I want to thank you all so much for all your hard work and that you've put in it. And Mr. Dumas has had to come and record, and some of the we have the Willie Morris from Cameo. He's going to be on there. We tried to get him to sing something from Cameo, but he didn't. He decided to do gospel.
Absolutely.
So Willie Morris, that's with Cameo. He's going to perform on the show. So but he actually received an award too. He's been in the music business for a long time, and so he was just very honored. So we got a lot of different guests that are going to be on the actually people that we are going to award. We won't tell it all because we want you to kind of be surprised. But one of the things that I do want to mention that we have decided to do, we normally give student scholarships for high school student scholarships every year. Right. This year we decided to not do the scholarship. We're still going to do make a donation, but the students that actually died this year, the 2 students that died this year, we're actually going to be donating monies to they have scholarships set up. I know one of the students have scholarships set up in their name, the school has, and we're going to be making a donation to that scholarship on behalf of that student, and the student at Stratford, and then the student at Southwest. We just got to get a little more information about the student at Southwest, but those, that's what we're planning on doing this year, instead of doing the scholarships to 2 high school students, to make donations to those 2 students. It's still going to be used for scholarships, but it won't actually. They'll do this when I talk to Stratford. They're going to be doing the scholarships next year, so the money, whatever monies they raise, will actually go to whatever student that will receive the scholarship next year.
Wow, and it's it's an exciting time for us. It's the season. It's this. It gets the fall season, and you think about celebrations and everything, and so putting it together. Of course, we started out. When you're starting something, you have a little stress, but then as it goes a little further, then you kind of get a better feel for what you're doing and everything. Yeah. And so hopefully we'll come together.
And so we're encouraging, want to get off the subject just for a few minutes, but want to encourage everyone to get out and vote. They're voting for the splash. So we do know that there are some challenges with this absentee ballot, but the NAACP is still working. We've got some things set up We just got to get permission from some people to actually go into the sites. But we're gonna be actually working more harder when we get this Freedom Fund behind us. We'll be able to concentrate more on making sure that we get people out, get the absentee copies, voter ID copies made for people to be able to vote. So that's something that we're working on, and so hopefully we'll be able to get as many people copies made, so it won't be a barrier for them to get out and vote.
Right, and hopefully it'll be some type of checklist that with all the new guidelines. I know a lot of people probably don't know what a lot of those are. And,
I'm just concerned. My biggest concern, Mr. Dumas, is with the new this ID law. You got some people. You got a database where people IDs don't match with what they have on file, and people are questioning when I say that. People are like, well, how is that? But it could be one. It could be a one number, one letter off or something that. Where it didn't match. I don't know why, because your driver's license come from there. So I don't know why it would be why it wouldn't match. It should.
Right.
And so you're not going to be in person to dispute it if it didn't match. So does your ballot get thrown out, or do you have an opportunity to? When do you get an opportunity to correct that? Because because you only have one. Well, it's more than one day to vote. But if you vote by absentee, are you notified that it didn't match, or so that's my concern, that if something like that happens, what happens to the person ballot?
Right, and also it's a change too with the provisional
oh yeah, as well. You're not going to be able to vote provisional if you're in the wrong place. You just got to be able to get to your location. I know, Mr. Dumas, this last election you experienced some. You're working at a site, you experienced some issues, and we don't know why. The Board of Elections, it was reported to the Board of Elections, and nothing took place. I think that, to my understanding, that person that handled that situation has been hired and promoted.
Wow.
That caused the issue and would not allow people to vote. They've actually been hired and promoted by the Board of Elections. So, wow. That's an experience. And I just think that in order for us to get some change in that, we're going to have to start filing complaints against the Board of Elections in order for us to get changes. When things like that happen, you got somebody that's telling people they can't vote, and then they get promoted. So it was reported to the Board of Election, but we're just going to have to take it further, since they're not going to be willing to
because
make
he was
the correction.
Actually operating outside of his work
position. Yeah.
And unfortunately, these things happen, and you would think that you get the correct response.
Yeah, but you're not. And we've had some other issues, where people were not. I've actually had to get the person gave me permission to actually go in with them and vote during this past election. Also, we had that issue, and I reported it, and nothing happened. She basically, when I went up there, she basically it was about his driver's license or something. But when I went up there, she kind of went in the back, wouldn't even speak with me. So, like I said, we got to take it further than the Board of Elections. In any future elections, we got to take it a little further than the local election, Board of Elections here.
Absolutely. So we do want to encourage you to tune in. How can they get a chance to see our virtual presentation? What time does that?
Well, it's at 6:00, and it's going to be live streamed on Facebook. So we will be able to live stream it. We're going to live stream it on Facebook. We do know that some people are like our members and things like that. They're asking, are they going to be able to do it by Zoom? So some people actually wanted to just be like, we're at the banquet together, and to get on Zoom, and then actually can live stream it from Zoom and do it that way also. But we'll live stream it on Facebook, and we'll live stream it from Zoom.
Wonderful.
And like I said, purchase your tickets, and then that's going to be a big help too. Even though we've gotten some donations, we're asking people to actually purchase tickets. That's another way you'll be able to donate.
And we'll also have a call center
Yes.
at night. And so you'll be able to call in and pledge your donations that way as well. So on the screen, you'll have a number and you'll have various ways that you can pay your pledge. So.
Right. And so those numbers, we do our main number, and I don't know if Marie has the numbers, or I don't know if she's listening, and I do know that she's gotten the numbers already that you can call in, but I do know our number that you can call in is 478-745-9944. That is one of the numbers that you will be able to call in on this Saturday on the 16th to make a pledge, and you'll be able to get if you want to donate, you can make a check out to Macon be NAACP Post Office Box 6452, Macon, Georgia 31208. You can also make a donation that way.
Absolutely. Well, we thank you guys for tuning in with us. We do hope you'll join us on Saturday for our virtual celebration. We're very excited about it, and we want you to get just as excited as we are.
Yes.
And be sure to get your tickets so you can get a meal. So, you can enjoy a nice meal while you're watching. So we've been real creative and giving thought to what we're doing, and we hope that you'll participate as well. And so until next week, have a great evening, and we'll be signing off, and hope you get a chance to go to the fair.
And be safe.
All righty. I think we got the information.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I hope people actually. I need to look. I'm going to turn this off. I need to go on and check.
You have been listening to the live broadcast of the NAACP with Gwenette Westbrooks and Mr. Dumas. Come join us next Monday at 4:00 p.m. on 980 WDDO.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.